All right, everyone, this is going to be a very interesting video today. We have an interview with Bernard Ong, and he is I guess I want to say CEO slash founder of TorqueBot. All right, please go ahead and read the disclaimer before we get into that. Give you guys a couple minutes. Always do your own research, always make your own decisions. Please check the timing of my videos before investing. Always look for my most up-to-date investment. And of course, I'm not a financial advisor and nothing is guaranteed. All right. Here's just what TorqueBot looks like on the back end. I already did a review on it a couple days ago, earlier this week. I just put in 1.5 Ethereum. I have to wait, I believe, 3 days before I will start receiving dividends on that, and I'll be receiving between 0.15 to, I think, zero point 0.3 on a good day, but recently it's been paying 0.5 to about, 0.2 to 1. So it's been paying pretty well, and it looks pretty safe. I mean, always do your own research. In my opinion, I think it looks pretty safe, sustainable, and I'm ready to get Bernard on here, so I'm going to pause the video and we're going to start talking to him in a bit. All right, we are live, and I hope it's recording. I'm actually going to get over here and just click record on this computer as well, so it's going to get everything that we need just to make sure. So I have Bernard Ong on the line. Here he is. If
Hi.
maybe we could let him introduce himself really quick, and then we'll get on with this interview.
Okay, cool. Hi, everybody. I'm Bernard from Singapore. So just want to share a bit about myself and my past experience. So my background is more in the financial space. I've been in banking for almost 8 years, 7.5 years to be precise. I was with Standard Chartered Bank in the mass consumer banking side of banking, and then later on moving into private banking in the National Australia Bank. Then after this is what I realized in the banks. I mean, um, there is much more opportunities, not just for the bankers ourselves, but it's also for the consumers, for the customers. I left the bank and I went on to set up prop trading firms, real estate fund management firm, and this is where my interest, my expertise, and lies. So I went on further to set up Omega Financial Group. But moving forward, where we're heading in the future is definitely going to be in tech space too. So I've got another arm under Snap Innovations. So Snap Innovations handles technology, whereas Omega Financial Group is more of a prop trading firm, as well as a venture capitalist. So whenever we see opportunities, especially in the tech space, uh, even more specific in the fintech space, that's where my interest lies. We would like to fund these opportunities, as well as talented traders all around the world. We are always on a hunt for good strategies for profitable traders and house them in-house to trade the funds that we have. So that is about what I did in the past. But 3 years ago, we started to realize a lot of opportunities in the crypto space. So that's where we actually got into the crypto market. We started trading crypto and we realized that the market is so inefficient. You can buy a Bitcoin, from market A, for example, you buy in Korea. You
Mm-hmm.
realize the price of the Bitcoin in the US is so different at this point, at this time, this minute, the price is very different, and that's where we can actually make quite a profitable trade because the market is still so inefficient. You don't see big exchanges like you see today, like Binance, Hit BTC, Kraken, Coinbase, Bialexi. There's so many of them.
Mm-hmm.
So in 3 years ago, there wasn't so many exchanges, and there was so much opportunity. So we started to trade, and then we got very interested, very into the crypto space, and we got into advisory roles to ICO projects. So 2 years ago, right up to even last year, there were still some ICOs, but you can see the whole entire ICO market is quietened down. I think that, to be honest, unfortunately there's also a lot of failed projects. Yeah, so people are quite afraid of funding into these ICO projects. So then we also did a lot of liquidity management for exchanges, crypto exchanges, and also for the individual ICO projects. So that's where we actually build up a lot of algorithms for trading, because a lot of this, such as creating a volume for the exchanges as a kind of marketing for them, as well as to keep some volume, some orders, my buy sell orders in the exchange. So they engage people like us, the market makers, to come in to actually provide this kind of services. So we got a lot of algorithms built from there, which then we realized that as the market becomes more efficient, I mean, it's still very inefficient, but as there's more exchanges coming up, we realized that our algos actually work perfectly well, because we are kind of like at the front of the game, and we are always optimizing our strategies, our algorithms, and even so, there's more and more of all these exchanges coming up. It is good for us because we can easily plug in our algorithms into the exchanges via their API, and our algorithms can just run and do the arbitrages or scalping. So then, that's where it comes the birth of Talk, because I want to create a platform for the mass consumers around the world, and not just a platform for you to create your digital wealth, but you can enjoy every single thing in life. You can travel using our app, you can shop using our app, you can play games, you can learn, you can build your own business. So we're putting everything really like a one-stop center, a true one-stop center, and that's also mainly because we have the capabilities to do everything in-house. So I do not have any third party. We do not outsource any services, so I do not face a very important risk in many businesses, which is third-party risk. So we could do everything in-house, and we started Talk last year in August.
Wow. Well, that is a nice pass. I mean, clearly you know exactly your backstory because you lived it, so that is awesome, and you have such a great resume. I've already been able to stalk you a little bit on LinkedIn, and I was like, wow, this guy has done so many things. It's crazy how you started in finance and you've kind of found the niche a little bit more in cryptocurrency. That's awesome. And so, back on
I think it was very timely. I think it was very timely too, because ever since I left the banking world, so much has evolved, so much has changed in such a short period of time, and because this is where my interest lies, and this is what myself and my company believes in. So we really studied and did a lot of research, trying out all sorts of different instruments in the market. So we trade all sorts of instruments. We trade stocks, futures, indices, warrants, even some FX, and crypto. So we really took that kind of interest because it's just so timely, and we have all these capabilities. Yeah.
And so, I heard you were talking about how, of course, you're very interested in cryptocurrency. I was thinking maybe we could just take a step back and just get like your opinion on cryptocurrency itself before we even get into the platform. Where do you think it's going to go? I think you showed me an article on Bitcoin, and I like, how you have people writing those articles. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Yeah. So of course, as we do trade the markets every day, we also do have our own in-house analyst to study the trends, the market trends, to study even things like the Bitcoin halving, and the people talking about USDT, whether is it going to be clamped down. So we talk about almost everything under the sun in the crypto space, even about some new coins that are launched. So it's quite good to have our own in-house review of what's actually going on in the market. So to talk about a little bit about cryptocurrency, I mean, it's definitely something that everybody is, a lot of people are looking at. For those who don't know about cryptocurrency, I think it's really good, and I think it's rather important to start learning, to expose themselves, because cryptocurrency is just the face of what everybody see. It's just the surface. The true technology behind is blockchain technology that's empowering all these different kind of industries, and it has so much different types of use cases that can help change and make your operations processes of a company even more transparent, can validate, it's faster, You can take away a lot of manpower costs too. So the blockchain tech can actually transform a lot of very traditional brick and mortar businesses, or rather, I would say their processes, all these traditional processes, to something that is much more efficient. So, of course, the cryptocurrency is just that medium of exchange, where a lot of companies will then issue their own kind of tokens. But I mean, I do suggest, before everybody just hear from the market, this company has just launched this token, let's buy some. Before you do that move, do understand about what the company is even trying to do. Because if you're just going to buy the coin and this token, a lot of times, who controls the price? Because the interesting part and dangerous part about crypto is that there is no central governance. There's no central banks behind the cryptocurrencies and how it's traded on the markets. It's purely driven by sentiments. It's purely driven by a lot of marketing, a lot of advertisements, a lot of hype and speculation. So that's the dangerous part, because there are not much fundamentals involved. So users will a lot of times just jump into a project not knowing what is it, buy their token, the next thing they know, the token price just plunged. Why? Two reasons. One, the company decides to drop the price of token because it's not listed on an exchange. And two, if you see on an exchange, the price just drops because there's no demand, there's no real use for these tokens as yet.
Yeah.
From the time this concept is born to the time when the token is actually issued and listed on the market, and then is that concept realized that it takes time. It takes even years for a company to really transform into the digital space, more so on all their processes. So if there is nothing that the user can use for this token other than just to hold it on and hope that the price will shoot up, people will be actually cashing out. Because you see, even times like now, COVID-19, people need cash, right? They have to liquidate their assets, all sorts of assets, just to keep their businesses afloat. Some of them would have get a huge hit in the stock market, and they need cash, so people will be liquidating. So all these actions of selling, because there is no other use for the token other than for them to cash out, will just cause the price to plunge. So a lot of people got burnt, and so because of these two reasons, I think cryptocurrency is definitely, of course, a very promising area, but also something that users will need to really understand a little bit more before they commit themselves into all these different type of coins in the market. Yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that was very well spoken. Like, one thing I tell my channel all the time is always do your own research. If you read something about a coin and it says, like, hey, like, we do this, you need to see it in play. You need to see if there's demand for it, because some coins come out there, they come out and they kind of create an artificial demand that's not real, and they price their coins so high that you buy them at like 30 cents, but really, looking at the market cap and the coin supply, it should be worth a penny, And so
correct.
That's always something I'm always telling people, always do your own research, and I like to hear that from you, because you're obviously way deeper in crypto than I am. I just have a channel I started a couple months ago. So
no, I'm still learning every day too. There's so many new things evolving every day in the crypto space, so I'm learning every day too.
Yeah, always be learning. That's one of my mottos that I have with my work and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
So
I think it's cool. With people like you guys, asking the right questions, the good questions, can really give people like us, our 2 cents worth of a little bit of thought. And hopefully, my aim is also to give people the right education, because there's a lot of times I think because of all the other projects and how they actually want to, for the pure reason of just wanting to push the project, to say things that probably will mislead users. So people have this kind of brainwashed syndrome. They just believe whatever these guys are saying, and because everybody's living on that hope, you see, that opportunity there. So they will want to listen to all the good stuff, but they ignore everything else. So that's dangerous. So this kind of questions give me a chance to answer, and maybe just give everybody out there that little bit of education so that they know what is right and what is wrong.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I wanted to bring you on here, because I didn't want to say too much about, your platform. If you were approachable and willing
Of
to have
course.
an interview, I figured you'd probably be the best person to answer and show the channel what's going on in Torquecoin. So, with that said, I think it would be
Yeah,
beneficial for us to move forward. So, not
sure.
everybody has to
Yeah.
stare too long at your your face over there. I'm just kidding. Um, so let us see. Let's see. We already got that. So you guys launched, I think it was last year. Was it in October, November? Do you know exactly?
Yeah,
And
that's right.
I was
In
curious.
August, to be honest. Yeah, in August. But it was more of like a soft launch. We didn't do any major event. We just let the portal go live. Of course, those who hear about it are our friends from different countries, and they experience it. Because when we launched, the mobile app wasn't ready, so it was just a very simple
Hmm.
web portal just to get things started. And then in about October, that was when the network just really grew really quickly. I mean, I don't have any experience in network marketing, to be honest. So this is something very new to me. But looking at how the other projects run, I mean, I understood one fact: whether or not it is a good or a bad project, but that is what people want. They want to have an opportunity where they themselves can actually create their own digital wealth. More so, they want to be able to create a business, and even if this and it's even better if this business can take them really global. So that's why we adopted this model, and we see that humongous growth in October November period last year.
Wow, cool. And so you launched last year, and I was just curious if you could give us any input on, anything that's changed for the better, or maybe if there was something that came up that maybe set you guys back, because you guys are still standing today. You guys are still running very well. A nice steam engine over there. I was just curious if
Yeah.
you've had any setbacks, or if there's anything that's actually helped the company move forward faster. If you have any of those events or anything like that, you can talk up.
Well, of course, along the way there will always be some obstacles, but I think through every obstacle we become stronger as a team. I would say that actually everything has been advancing, has been good, and it's always getting better from the time we started. Especially when the mobile app was launched, that can actually open up doors to a lot of different functions and features. So since the time that we launched this app, you can see that right now through our one app, not only you are making you're growing your digital wealth on a daily basis. You are able to actually have a lot of users right now for the tokens, for our tokens. You can use it to book over 500,000 hotels across the world, and in this coming month, you can start to book flights as well. The Top Mall, which is a digital mall on our app, is going to go live as well in a few days' time. We've built a lot of different functions just because of the coronavirus. That also reminded me a lot that all of us can fall sick. All of us can have some, misfortunate events that might happen to us. And if I'm gone, who is going to take over? Who is going to have who's going to be the rightful beneficiary of my assets? So we've launched Talk Legacy as well, and to help this improve that little bit that we can try to help the society during this very tough period for many out there. We've also launched Talk Gift, Gift GIFT, giving it from Talk. So it's just basically a donation function where users can actually donate, and every donation that is out to the charity organizations, we are focusing on UNICEF, yeah, International Medical Corps, and the Red Cross. There's three of them. They accept crypto, so that's perfect. So we're targeting on charity organizations that is more globally recognized, and their outreach is wider. So as a company, I think in times of need, we also want to come in to help. Okay, so back to your question about how have we progressed. So that was in terms of tech developments, in terms of trading wise, actually, it's been good. All this while has been good. From the time we started until now, I must say that the keyword is being consistent. And we don't have anything that is more of like a setback. Because I would say it's not a setback, but rather a challenge. The challenge is for us to keep growing our trading team. As you know, I mean, we are running on the algorithms, but while all these algorithms are running, we need also a team that consists of not just a computer and the codes running, but it comprises of the operator who actually operates the algorithms, right? The trader who actually understands the logic and understands the market well, and he can monitor and watch the algorithms perform. It's more like the pilots and the co-pilot to an aircraft. The aircraft can be on an autopilot mode, but in times of turbulence, emergencies, the pilots will take over a manual control. So that's what the traders and the operators are there for. And of course, you need the analyst, you need a coder. Yeah, so they will speak. The coder will actually work very closely with the trader. Okay, so on a day-to-day basis, they will always do reviews and try to optimize and enhance the algorithms, and that is done on a daily basis. So that is just forming one team. One team will consist about 6 people, usually between 5 to 7 people in a team. Now we have 6 teams. We have 6 teams, and we are growing. So it takes time for us to hire, to train. Especially if it would be, of course, the best if they are experienced traders, but even those who are new, we do hire them because they must have their own strengths, and we'll do the training. We really have to teach them and grill them, and it takes time. Yeah, so it takes time for us to grow this trading team. All this growth is needed for us to manage the volume. The volume increases on a daily basis. Yeah, to the point, actually, of course, we don't know what the limit is, because the limit is actually how much can the market really digest. How much volume is there in the exchanges that we're connected to and we're trading with, because that is where only when there is volume, then there is opportunities for arbitraging. Okay, so it's really dependent. So if somebody can come and tell you, I can take 100 million for sure. Well, this question has a lot of underlying questions. How did he come up with the figures of 100 million? Because right now, I don't think any mathematician can actually calculate the number for me right now. There's too much variables, right? The volume exchanges changes every day. The buy-sell volume changes every day, right? And it's also the number of exchanges that we're connected to. And each team runs on a few different strategies. Like arbitrage alone, there are so many different pairings. My team, some of them are doing 3-way arbitrage, some of them are doing 4-way arbitrage, right? So it's also dependent on how much can these teams really handle, so there's quite a lot of variables to how much, to somebody to say how much can they really manage. But for us, it's always a challenge, and it's always something to push us forward in order to grow our team, to improve our tech, to improve the algorithms, to be the fastest, to capture as much as possible all the very profitable trades. So everything is good so far. We are consistent. Our profits are quite consistent over this whole period of time. You can see we've done a range of like 0.15 to 0.2 plus % a day. However, of course, that is only just every user's individual account. We haven't combined the income from, of course, the network that we've built. And how this model came about is just basically a profit sharing model. So I would say all in all is good. Everything is on the growth now, and you can see a lot of exciting functions, features, products coming onto the mobile app very soon.
Well, you knocked out quite a bit of questions there, all in one.
Yeah.
So
I've seen all your questions, so I know what's in your head. So I'm trying to answer as much as I can and go as elaborate as I can, because the time that I have with you is short, and I don't want to keep the video too long as well. So I want users to really understand a lot of our thoughts and how things are being done, so people can actually understand talk better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome how transparent you were with, how much you guys are earning. It sounds like you have I think you're in Singapore right now, correct? In your Singapore office?
Yes. So I'm in my Singapore office. But most of our operations and our trading is in Vietnam, which I can invite you to come and join me for a short little tour.
Okay.
But the reason why I have it in Vietnam is because it is much more cost efficient. Um, in terms of labor cost, it is much lower than Singapore. Hiring one staff in Vietnam, sorry, I mean in Singapore, can allow me to hire four staffs in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And of course, you can see that people are hungrier there. The business that I'm running requires really 24/7 kind of operations. I need people on the ground 24 hours. They have to take people. I'll need a big team even to cover the night shift, which I think in Singapore is going to be quite a challenge for us. I mean, it will definitely increase my cost by at least 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why most of my operations, everything is mostly in Vietnam, and of course, we are expanding into other countries too. Largely because of the language. I want to be able to support the community that we have. So, like for example, to support Mandarin, I will need to set up the office in Taiwan for to have small support staff for the Thailand nationals. We are also thinking about setting up a Thailand office to support the Thai market. So we are growing in the Southeast Asia region. But of course, from where you are, it's really exciting. And I've also been speaking with my lawyer, to be honest, if you want to set up some operations
Mm-hmm.
in the US. So what are the things that, I need to take note of, the licenses that I need to go for, etc. So yeah, one day we will slowly expand our grounds into all the foreign markets, so that we can have a stronger foothold.
Wow. Yeah. So that,
In
I
Vietnam,
totally. Oh, yep.
yeah. Oh, sorry. Just want to add. Um, in Vietnam, I mean, people are welcome to come. But since I'm here, I just want to say, do make prior arrangements with the team before they visit, because my office is turning into like a zoo. People are just queuing at our door,
Yeah.
going to see the gorillas and the chimpanzees at work. So,
Yeah. Wow.
so I need to put a stop to that. So people can still come, but they just need to make arrangements, because that is really disruptive for my guys when they're working, especially the traders. We have 3 offices in Vietnam. Um, Everyone can actually come to our HQ to watch, to meet the traders, the developers, our main office. And I have a few other offices that is strictly just for trading, so that people can concentrate 24 hours a day just on trading. Yeah, just so you know, because I think that is a very common question: whether can they come and visit us, and if so, what's the address, and it will come down right now, So
Yeah.
I better put it up. Yeah, yeah,
Well, I mean, you guys are, a functioning company with, 2 offices, almost 3, I think, and so the third one in Thailand. So I think, of course, there's going to be people wanting to come visit, and I get it. That makes total sense to me, and I can kind of agree with that as well. I opened a Telegram channel, and I get about like 20 to 30 messages in a couple hours, just for
yeah,
people messaging me from my YouTube, like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" So I can totally see how stuff will get overloaded. So of course, I'll make sure everybody knows that if for some reason they live in Singapore or they're in
yeah,
Vietnam and near that other one, if they for some reason want to go visit, to make sure that they, of course, make prior arrangement just to be respectful for you and your time. And that's something I'm going to be
yeah.
trying to do here with this interview. So I'm going to try and get to a little bit more questions here, just so I don't take too much of your
Sure.
time. And so we went over the Torque Gift Fund, and you said there's UNICEF, Red Cross, that kind of stuff. You guys are taking Torque coins to, help donate
Yeah.
to the coronavirus cause. I think that's awesome. I saw that there was the Torque Mall, which is probably where you get the jacket you're wearing. Stuff like
Yep.
that.
And it's not just our merchandise. It's all sorts of different type of products that you can find on in your malls, from your tech gadgets, electronic gadgets, power banks, chargers, to sportwears, to accessories, different type of products. And we'll be adding more and more products, so that users around the world can just, I mean, how nice will it be, right? That you are, for example, you just open an account and you put $1,000 worth of Bitcoin,
Hmm.
and all this money that's generated to you every day can actually be cashed out, or you can actually exchange for any products, such as food, such as clothing, shoes. I mean, how nice will it be, right? So I
Yeah.
think something that is important for talk, and that's why I'm put it out there, and it really gives a chance for everybody to connect to each other. All these retailers can now reach out to the global market. Yeah,
Well, that's actually a really cool idea. I didn't think of it of like that way that you could use the coins to buy it, because that
yeah,
essentially, takes away having to convert to dollars to then buy something that you want, or
yeah. That's
any
right.
other currency. So I think that's really cool.
So correct, and I want to move into just a very quick one. So I'm also exploring with my team to come up something with. Are you familiar with? Of course, you're familiar with Uber Eats, right?
Yes.
So so we are working on either connecting to boys like them, of course, or if not, we are connecting to restaurants in different countries, so that I want to send a very strong message out there, right? That users, instead of traditionally, they always been investing in fiat money, in bank products. How much can they really get out of the banks? To be honest, it's not a lot.
Yeah, not at all.
Talk is generating quite a lot of profits, because I would say the timing is really right, and we are really just taking advantage of how the market is right now. We're generating a lot of returns. Not only that, you are able to build a network. So for a guy who just open an account with Talk, and having $250, which is maybe the price of one Ethereum coin, now even lesser. Ethereum should be at about only 200 USD now. So these users then decide to refer to your friends, because they think it's an honestly good platform. They started to build a business, and it generates a good income for them. This income can be changed to your food daily. You never go hungry again, never ever again, right? Of course, for those who can afford it, they can always open an account. Let's say they put in, for example, $5,000. What if I tell you this $5,000 ensures you food on your table, 2 meals a day at least, for the rest of your life? So I think it's something that it, back then it was just a thought, it was just a dream, but we can actually realize it, and it can come really soon. So yeah, we're going to build more and more good functions like this, sending out strong messages, so that our work here isn't just about helping people to grow their digital wealth. It's about creating a digital economy within one single app.
Wow. That's actually a cool way to look at it as well, because if you can, buy food with your coins and you have a large enough amount in there, you can just every day you get your payout, you could just use that to buy food if you want to, and that's your investment working to take away, a cost that you
Yeah,
would incur yourself. So that's
that's
really
right.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. You can use that to cash out. You can get your favorite T-shirt, your jeans, your, I don't know, your PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So we have a lot of these questions that have been answered. I don't want to take too much of your time. I keep sounding like a broken record saying that. There's just one
Oh,
more thing that if I had to ask one more question, what I would want to
okay.
ask, and I would want to say it's more on the side of safety for the users. I was curious
Yeah.
if you guys have like I don't know, like a fund or like a process you guys have in case, let's say, you guys have a losing day 3 days in a row. What will happen
Okay.
then?
Okay. So I'll just break down the question into a few parts. Talking about losing days first. Right from the day that we started until today, we never had a single losing day. Why? Is because of the strategies that we use. So our team actually adopts, and we actually move around only on one kind of concept, which is being market neutral. Meaning to say, we do not take actually positions in when it comes to the trading part. We do not trade according to trends. We do not hold the Bitcoin and hoping the price will go up. So no matter if the price is up or down, we are always making money. So when we do the arbitrage, this kind of strategy can be done, and it can be on repetitive, and we can fire it out in different exchanges doing three-way arbitrage. So that's why with our strategies, there is no losing days. Now there is one strategy that we're running on, which is scalping, which means that we actually take minute profits when we are actually trading. So of course it is just taking, for example, the climb from, let's say, $1 to $1.10, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can profit at $1, 2 cents, 3 cents before it hits 10 cents, right? But there's still this form of directional trading, and that is where there's still some form of risk, and to mitigate that risk, more than just putting in stop loss, we actually average down the open orders. So there's always a buy and a sell trade executed, and the open orders will actually just average down so that we do not just close off the position and take that immediate loss, but we try to minimize the losses. From the time that we started until now, I mean, when it comes to scalping, we've seen less than 5 losing days. Even with the losing days, the arbitrage profit is much more. So it actually covers the losses, because at this moment, our scalping strategy, the way we deploy the funds, is just not more than at this stage is not more than 20%. But we can take up to 30%. So 70% of our funds are used in the arbitrage strategies, where scalping is kept at 30% max. So even if we have a small losing day, the arbitrage strategy would have profited, and we're able to cover that cost. Definitely able to control, and the risk is basically is all about managing the risk that you're exposed to.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is just one more short question that I just thought of. So
yeah.
a lot of people are not, I wouldn't say worried, but they're kind of sitting here like, the Bitcoin halving's coming up. They think the price is going to go up. And I just wanted to confirm that, if the price were to go up or the price were to go down, that wouldn't necessarily affect you guys, because you guys just pay a percent of Bitcoin or a percent of Ethereum. And so
Yes.
whether it does go up or it goes down, that's not going to hurt your guys' business at all.
No. So we've seen days where the Bitcoin plunged to $5,000, and recently went up to 9,000, almost 9,005, and now dropping back down to 8,000. Plus today is about 9,000. So you can see all these big movements, but the trading performance is still in good shape. Yeah, because whenever we trade, the returns are also based on the base currency, which, like what you said, is either in Bitcoin or Ethereum. So it's simple as, you give me a Bitcoin, I make 1.1 Bitcoin, I will give you that 1.1 Bitcoin less the expenses.
Mm-hmm.
So it's as good as that. So I think users don't have to be too worried about the Bitcoin halving or any major events actually.
Wow.
But I think, of course, the thing to be worried about is that, how much are they buying their Bitcoins for, right? So of course, everybody who bought it at 9,005, when the Bitcoin drops to $6,000, then of course they will get a hit on their capital.
Yeah.
But if they just treat the Bitcoin as like the USD, right? They just leave it there. We'll trade for them. That's what talk is about, you see. Because, for example, today you buy a Bitcoin, you keep in your wallet. Yeah, the Bitcoin will just remain. I mean, you're just holding on to that one Bitcoin, and you're just praying for Bitcoin to actually shoot up in terms of their price. Right? So when are you most vulnerable is when you just don't know when it will drop and how much will it drop. So, for example, today if you look at Talk and you decide to put one Bitcoin with us, even if the price dropped by 50%, okay, but because your Bitcoin is actually working for you, we are trading it. We've created from 1 Bitcoin to 2 Bitcoin. That way, you have actually did a hedging, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because the price fall by 50%, but then now, hey, I've got 2 Bitcoins. So, so that's what we're trying to do, and I think that is something quite important too, um, because most people are just jumping into Bitcoin because their friends said that Bitcoin is cheap now. They should buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just gonna sit in your wallet doing nothing. It's not gonna do you any good. Mm.
Yeah. Wow. And that's like what I've always been saying to my channel. Just get more Bitcoin, get more Ethereum. If you're into Litecoin, get more Litecoin. I don't even really care about the price right now because I believe in it. So that's my stance on that,
Okay.
and it's great to hear, all of these assurances you've given me.
Yeah.
I don't want to take too
Yes.
much of your time, so I'm going to let you say anything left. If you want to say, if there's anything we missed, you can go ahead and say that, and then after that I'll turn off the video.
Well, I think all is good. I mean, of course, you can see a feedback, and maybe on the next round, you can just text me, reach me in the Telegram, drop me any more questions you would like to know, like to have my answers. Because I also don't want to take up too much time. It's your sleeping time now, and of course,
Yeah.
I don't want. I think users listening to my non-stop monotonous speech will maybe make them want to join you in your sleep too. So I'm just gonna put a stop here, and then you can ask me any more questions later.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Bernard. I'm going to
Cool.
pause the video
Thank
now.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I think I just unpaused the video. So that was just, the end of the interview right there. I'm going to move on with my conclusion here. One thing that after I turned off the video, Bernard wanted me to remind you guys, based on the question I asked about with security, is the fact that, they don't hold any of our funds. Their funds, I mean, they don't hold any of our funds that we deposit onto the system. Those funds are then grabbed and used and held in Binance or in whatever exchange they use. And he explained that he will only use reputable exchanges since our money's being stored there. In case that exchange were to disappear or go down, they have protection and will give you back the funds. So in that way, they are never just holding on to our funds. Our funds are always working for us in the exchanges, and that is why it takes about 3 days for our investment to get set up before we can start getting paid after you invest, and that is also why it takes a couple days for you to actually get your withdrawal out as well. And like I just finished talking with him, it seems like a very profitable business. I have shown videos in the previous reviews of what their Singapore office looks like. And of course, that's the same guy in the picture. He's available on LinkedIn. Please don't bother him too much. If you guys have any questions about Torque, ask me first, and I'll see if I can answer. Of some of the points that I liked, how they talked about, their strategy of it's a volatile, variable payout. If they don't make that much money that day, they won't pay you that much, which makes it sustainable. I like the security that they were talking about that they have. I think they have lots of great ideas going on with the app and all that stuff. Like I have the app on my phone and I've taken a look at it and it's clean. I currently have about 1.5 Ethereum in there right now. Let's check. 1.5 Ethereum in there right now. It's worth about $311. I believe the minimum to invest is 1 Ethereum, 5 Litecoin. Not sure how much USDT or Bitcoin. I can figure that out. But I'm starting to really like this platform after meeting with Bernard, or I'm not exactly sure how he pronounced it. But after meeting with him, I got a lot of assurance out of a lot of the stuff we talked about. The teams that he has set up, his, business process from start to finish of, how when we deposit, how everything flows, how they protect our money, how they earn with our money. He was very transparent that they make up, just under 0.5% a day, and they pay out a good percentage of that after taking a look at the affiliate program. They do have merchandise. If a company has merchandise, that usually means it's pretty legit compared to, other companies that just want to take your money. I don't think that is Torque Wallet, Torque Bots, um, what's the word? I don't think that's their motive here at all. I mean, if they're making profit with our profit, who could want anything better? And a lot of people always tell me, 0.15% a day to 0.21% a day, that's not, according to them, that's not sustainable, right? And if you look, it's variable for each coin as well, because each coin performs differently on a daily basis. And I'm just loving this platform ever since I've been taking a look at it for a couple weeks. I decided to pull the trigger. Once I got this interview locked up with Bernard, I immediately threw in 1.5 Ethereum, and I'm just waiting to get a payout on that. I haven't received anything yet. It's almost been 3 days, so I should be receiving a payout sometime soon. And like in conclusion, I'm very happy with this platform, regardless of what events are happening, whether it's the Bitcoin halving, a USDT, regulation that they're talking about, or the Ethereum 2.0 blockchain. Everything is maintained in crypto and paid as a percentage in crypto. So I am very happy with how this company is ran. The leadership with Bernard, he has a phenomenal resume. And I mean, he has a very large digital footprint, and he lives in Singapore, and everything is matched. I haven't seen a single flaw with this company. And some people may say that the percent they pay is low, but you get 1% from your bank a year. You can get that much in a week and compound it. So I am super happy with this. This is probably going to be a long-term platform for me. You guys can see plenty of, just short, quick update videos of me taking my earnings, and that's where I stand on this. Please let me know in the comments if you guys have any other questions you want me to quickly shoot to him, or if you guys have an opinion that you want people to hear about. All right, I hope you guys have a good one. Stay safe.